Lockdown Sports.
Denver ain't no joke.
My man, how are you? The air is filled with smoke. It looks like the end of the world up here in the Northwest and up and down the West Coast. But I got to tell you, it is the end of the world down there in Los Angeles because my Denver Nuggets, God bless them, they pulled off something historic last night. They became the only team in the 73-year history of the NBA to come back down 3-1 in two series in the same playoff run. And boy, did they dispatch the Clippers last night. They made history. Cinderella is alive in the Disney bubble, and it ain't Mickey and Minnie, man. It's Jamal and Joker. And I'm telling you, it was the most exciting game I've ever seen. The best big man in the game, the highest scoring, best passing big man this game has seen since Wilt Chamberlain. Serious to God on that. Unbelievable. The Joker was everywhere last night. He was serving up a triple-double like a maitre d' at the country buffet. They were eating last night, man. He had that triple-double by the end of the third quarter, which is another NBA record. I'm just so damn excited, man. I can't tell you how much this means to this franchise. And you know what? There is a connection with this Denver Nuggets team to those of us in the Northwest, because after George Karl left our beloved Sonics, you know, he went and coached the Denver Nuggets for 10 years and got them to the playoffs 9 straight years. And so there's a lot of love there. I'm from Colorado, so I'm loving this team. But give me your – and, you know, people, the pundits were going nuts, man. What's your take on this historic upset last night?
Well, for starters, I watched Stephen A. Smith have a meltdown.
Oh, my goodness. There's 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this game, and it is over. The Denver Nuggets are up 20! It's over!
An absolute meltdown. And, you know, there's nothing like a Stephen A. Smith meltdown. And for you who are not familiar with Stephen A. Smith, he is perhaps the most opinionated and at times loud as he, and to use a Stephen A. Smithism, bloviates. He bloviates, okay?
When you wet the bed like that in the last 12 minutes of a game 7, that's a choke. That's a choke job. You see me choking now?
He bloviated big time last night. Here's a quick little clip.
Damn.
The man gets it done, but doesn't he express himself well?
Well, and you know what? Everybody was looking at the Lakers and the Clippers, and they got that cart way ahead of that horse. And in typical 2020 fashion, Geoff Young, let's be realistic. That was so 2020 that for the third consecutive time, the Denver Nuggets came back from a hole, from the grave. They came back from the grave to be alive and to represent the Western Conference Finals against probably the heavily favored Los Angeles Lakers. I think it's going to be a hell of a series, and the Lakers are going to have to bring their A game. There is no question, Geoff Young. They are going to have to bring it. And if they don't bring it, guess what? They're going to be looking at the same thing that the Clippers are looking at, which is that vacation in Cancun Dame Lillard's been talking about.
I'm telling you what, man, it was preordained. It was preordained at the beginning of the season. It was going to be the Clippers or the Lakers winning it all. They were hoping for the big battle in LA. Everybody's talking up the Clippers, the big hired guns they brought in, George, Kawhi, and even Lee Smith, man. But you know what? I love the attitude of this Nuggets team led by Coach Buttermaker and the Bad News Bears, man. I'm telling you what, it was unbelievable. When after the game last night, typical, you know, East Coast bias, they never give anybody in the Northwest or out West other than LA any credit, but they were interviewing Jamal Murray and Jokovic and asking him, you know, you're going up against the Lakers. They're a scary team, or what do you fear about them most? And I love Jamal Murray. Well, you know what? They got to worry about us too now. And I think that sets it up. People thought that, what they think the Nuggets were, what? The 12th seed in the NCAA tournament. They were the number 3 seed in the West. This is a legit team. And nobody gave them a prayer. Nobody's paid attention to them. And that's just the way we like it. Because I'll tell you what, these guys, Nikola Jokovic, Jamal Murray, the 2 leaders of this team got it done. Murray, 40 points. Jokovic, 22 rebounds, a triple-double. And then led by the marvelous Michael Porter Jr. and Gary Harris with his perimeter defense all night, man. The pressure. They just crushed the Clippers' spirit with that defensive pressure. And then big props and help from Jeremy Grant, Paul Millsap, Monte Morris. I love this team. They're young.
I can tell, man. I can tell. And by the way, once again, and I love him, but Doc Rivers got outcoached. We're going to start with that. Paul George played like Boy George. See that one brick where he hit the side of the backboard? He was on the side,
Right
and he
here.
shot it, and he hit the side of the backboard, okay?
What?
And Dame Lillard immediately texted, good with that, or it looks good to me. That's what he texted, looks good to me. So they're going to be jacking each other in the offseason. We got a hell of a finals coming up, a Western Conference Finals, Geoff Young, and Lakers will have to bring their A game
Oh, my
to
God.
get past this spirited group.
And I got news for you. They're going to have their hands full with Djokovic. This guy, this little one-legged hop rainbow three-pointer that he was tearing him up with last night. The touch this big man has, the passing, he's got it all. And I'll tell you, I think I'm going to say it right here on Lockdown Sports. Nuggets are taking this thing. Nuggets are going to be.
You think so, man?
I think so.
Geoff Young, you're going to look like Kreskin if this comes true. Now, you young people out there watching Lockdown Sports, understand two things. Number one, you can look up Kreskin on YouTube. Okay, go to YouTube or Google Kreskin. And number two, when I mentioned YouTube, dig this. We can now be seen on YouTube. You have to subscribe.
That's
but
right.
Geoff Young, much to unpack in a crazy week. The Mariners, in a game last night, we've heard of rainouts. Last night's game was smoked out, Geoff Young. Smoked out. The game was smoked out. So
And
much smoke.
I never thought it would happen because of wildfires. I thought we'd have like a legal pot fan appreciation day, but no.
Oh, yeah. I thought they'd have Hemp Fest right down in the 100 level where they did all that renovating and work on the Terrace Club. Absolutely. But no, man, the game was smoked out. And what was crazy is in the doubleheader the night before against Oakland, my man, Kyle Lewis, and I say he is the front runner for the American League Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
But in my mind, Geoff Young, he is also the front runner for the catch of this shortened season. And when I say catch, I mean an amazing catch. And if I'm not mistaken, Geoff Young, there's an odd coincidence about the call on that catch by Kyle Lewis.
Well, there is.
Robbing, a
Go ahead,
home run robbing call.
Wasn't it? Didn't he rob? Wasn't that a grand slam? He robbed.
It was a
right?
grand slam.
Well,
Which
here's
would have put the game out of reach. And by the way, we came back and actually won that game. And Kyle Lewis scored the winning run on a walk. They walked him in with the bases loaded. Is that crazy? They came back and won that game 6-5. And Oakland is the first place team.
And he's got an amazing future. He's going to be a superstar. But you brought up, we do have a clip. This is what's really interesting. Rick Riz, the voice of the Mariners, he made the almost identical call that he did last night with Kyle Lewis going up over the wall to deny that grand slam. He made the most identical call 30 years ago when Junior climbed the wall to pull out a ball. Take a look at this, side by side, and we've intercut both calls, so it looks like one call. Check this out.
The way, swinging a high fly ball deep left center field. On the run to the warning track. Kyle Lewis near the wall, leaps up, and he makes the catch! And he's got it! An incredible catch by the kid! He takes away a home run! And he takes a grand salami away from Ramon Laureano. From Jesse Barfield, climbing the wall in left center field.
Isn't that something?
Are you kidding?
Isn't that something?
That is so crazy. That was Jesse Barfield. And who can forget Junior's smile when he caught it and came running off the field? And by the way, who can forget Kyle Lewis's exuberance after he made that catch?
I'm telling you, it gives me goosebumps. Have we got our next Ken Griffey now?
We've got one hell of a center fielder.
And we've also
Okay,
got
one hell of a center fielder. And
we got
as you know, Geoff Young. Hey, yeah. And by the way, you mentioned something about Marco earlier. Alert our Lockdown Sports fans as to what Marco Gonzalez has done, which is
well, his last two outings pitched a complete game, but I just found out that right now he has got the second lowest ERA for a left-hander pitcher on the Mariners since Randy Johnson, the big unit. So that's saying something.
That is saying something. Like I said, man, lots of bright spots on this team. And by the way, they're at 22 wins. So our whole over-under on 20 wins is out the window.
It's out the window, and they're a game and a half out now. The Yankees have started to catch fire. I think they've won like 6 in a row.
Yeah, well, they're on fire right now.
But, hey, you know what? If someone had told me in middle of September that we'd be a game and a half out of the playoffs, I'd take it all day.
Yeah. we both know this is a team that's built for the future. That future is not now. That future is not now. But I'll tell you which team I believe that the future is right now. No ifs, ands, or buts. And that's the Seattle Seahawks football team.
Baby, I'm telling you what, it feels like 2013 all over again, which was the last time we went in and put up those kind of points on opening day, 38. Of course, 2013, the year we went to the Super Bowl. But hey, how about the performance of our Seahawks and Mr. Russell, overdue for an MVP, Wilson, who set records left and right in that game yesterday. 88.6% completion for a game, the third highest in NFL history. He was 31 to 35. 322, 4 touchdowns. And he ran for 29. The guy's remarkable, and he's never looked better.
Come on, man.
Well, he didn't look better than he looked on Sunday, and he can only get better. And the whole idea of letting Russ cook, Geoff Young, call it cooking. I call it simmering, by the way. I really like the way the offense right now is simmering, which is how you can go for the whole ball of wax on 4th down.
Isn't
right?
I'm glad you brought that up. A key play, typical of how the Seahawks attack. 4th and 5. What do? Let's throw that beautiful Russ Rainbow to DK Metcalf down the sideline.
Beautiful,
Touchdown.
man.
And that just rips the guts out of another team, right?
Oh, right now, especially on 4th down when they've got the line of scrimmage all stacked up and they're figuring that we're going to do something that's typical Seahawks, and they do something that's atypical.
Right.
Okay?
And
they took a page out of the Kansas City Chiefs playbook. And if you notice, Kansas City's trying to run the ball all the time now. We've switched offenses in a weird kind of way, which brings me to not only the point of Sunday's performance, and as you know, Geoff Young, there was several stellar performances on offense, but also despite the crazy numbers that Matt Ryan put up for Atlanta because he was dropping back to pass every other play.
Yeah.
It was the play of number 33. And did you find yourself not missing Jadeveon Clowney on Sunday morning watching that game?
Well, watching him on the other side of the football, hey, I didn't see any big deal. Actually, you know, while Russ might have been cooking, Seattle defense was grilling. And they had those boys on the hot coals, and Jamal Adams, everything is advertised, and even more so. And I absolutely love that, you know, we can't go back. There was only one Legion of Boom, LOB. We know that. But we need a new nickname for this defense. And my friend, I think you hit it out of the ballpark. Why don't you tell our viewers what you came up with for the nickname for the new Seattle defense?
Hey, it's early in the ball game, but I'd like to call our new Seahawks defense the Adams family.
I love it.
Okay, Adams family 2.0. Once again, I'm throwing in the 2.0 so we can keep with the fads of today's youth. You know, this is not the actual Adams family, of course, but the Adams family was creepy and spooky. And let me tell you something. That Seahawks secondary right now is creepy and very spooky. Which brings me to the point of this Sunday's game, Sunday night game, and we're hoping, Geoff Young, that the players will be able to breathe inside the probably toxic air right now down at the Clink.
Hey, real quick, before we get to Belichick and the Patriots coming up, just a quick couple of shout-outs, man, to the performance by the Seahawks. Benson Mayoya, that defensive end we picked up in free agency, man.
Yeah.
He jumped on the back of Matt Ryan and squashed him like a bearskin rug. How about the rookie, Marquise Blair, firing in on a 4th and 2 that Atlanta was going for, knocks that ball out. I'm telling you what, it's signature Seattle defense.
Absolutely. And by the way, do not
forget
the
violence is back. I'm telling you.
Oh, come on, man. Listen, this team defensively has a swag, which is why I nicknamed them the Adams family. This D has a swag that we have not seen in years. And let me tell you, not only is number 33, everything is advertised and then some. And think about it. We gave up 2 firsts and a 3rd, and we let Bradley McDougald go. And what I was thinking as I watched him all over the field on Sunday morning, I said, is that all we gave up to get this brother?
Right.
Because let me tell you who else is in tandem and playing at the same intensity is the plumber, number 54, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop freaking, call Beacon.
Stop freaking, call
That's
Beacon.
our plumber. He pulls a lot of stop-gap tackles is what he does.
And unlike Beacon Plumbing, the plumber clogs up the hole. You know what I mean? And hey, a real quick shout out to our first round draft pick from last year, LJ Collier. First play of the game, man. He forced an intentional grounding call.
Yeah, that's right.
Nothing
That's
but
right.
good things in store for this young man going into this season, which I really feel, Rod, this team feels like the 2013 Super Bowl team. I mean, how do you come out on the first game of a crazy year, there were no preseason games? Training camp was strange and weird.
Mm-hmm.
This team came out, and I don't know about you, but they looked more than in midseason form, throwing up 38 points and executing and people are going to point to the fact Atlanta got like 500 yards passing, but you know what? A lot of that was preventative garbage time throws. We had already built a lead. We had
big time.
Yeah.
Big time. I'd rather cruise to victory anyway, man. Who cares about the stats in the long run, as long as what we know is the defense is going to bend and not break. And this particular brand of defense, like I said, led by number 33, the lead man in the Adams family. This is a headhunting group, Geoff Young.
Oh, yeah, they are.
We haven't seen headhunting and ball hawking in a while. And so I'm thinking a couple of things. A, I didn't think about Clowney Sunday morning, though I thought we'd miss him.
No.
And B, I'll tell you who else I wasn't thinking about. And unfortunately, he's still unemployed, and that's Earl Thomas. We got a hell of a safety in Jamal Adams, Geoff Young. We got to pay him. And I'll tell you what.
Oh, yeah.
We got to pay him. But listen, all of this brings me to what I think is an interesting head game that's going on right now between Foxborough and Tampa. And that is in Foxborough at the office of one Bill Belichick, as we both know, arguably the most constipated looking coach in the NFL. This is a man who has the personality of a mature summer squash. Yet, Geoff Young, he has bloviated, to quote a Stephen A. Smithism, he has nonstop bloviated about one Cam, a.k.a. the Mad Hatter, Newton.
Black Dick Tracy.
Okay, Black Dick Tracy. Did you see that? Did you see that bright yellow suit he had on with a hat? Okay.
Yeah, he's styling big time.
He's styling and profiling. And let me tell you something. He ran the ball 12 times on Sunday against the hapless Miami Dolphins.
Oh man.
I don't see them exposing him to the kind of punishment that this defense will be putting on him, and particularly if they decide that Jamal Adams is just going to shadow him the whole game. Watch what happens.
Oh, I'm telling you what. Yeah, he tries that stuff against the Adams family. He's going to end up looking like Lurch and walking out of there like Uncle Arthur. That's all I have to say.
he gonna walk out there like this, looking like Thing. Okay.
You know what? You brought up an interesting point. I mean, Belichick. Not only has he been singing the praises of Cam Newton, something that you never heard him do with Brady. You know, the most thing about Brady is he played a good game. That was it. But he's going off on Cam, and then, and what's going on with Belichick? He just seems to have opened up. You know, he was saying a ton of great things about the Seahawks. He was praising Pete Carroll up and down, Russell Wilson. I don't know if it's mind games, but Patriots.
It is mind games. Don't trust him. Mind games, Geoff Young. Mind games. We handed them a Super Bowl. We know that. We owe them Sunday night. We handed them a damn Super Bowl, and you know it, and they know it, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So his mind games is between him and his former quarterback, Tom Brady, which is why he's singing and bloviating all about Cam Newton. And it wouldn't surprise me in an effort to try to relate completely to Cam Newton if we don't find Belichick, currently, by the way, being featured on that Subway commercial where he's cutting the sleeves off my man's sport coat.
Oh, yeah.
And smiling, Geoff Young. I haven't seen him smiling since Ronald Reagan was the president. You understand what I'm saying? So here's the bottom line. It wouldn't surprise me in an effort to somehow relate even more to Cam Newton and let everybody know that he's a looser, Bill Belichick, that we don't see him at some point showing up at a post-game press conference dressed right out of the Don Cherry collection. And Don Cherry, for all you folks who don't know, was Hockey Night in Canada's announcer. And Don Cherry had some suits that would make most pimps blush.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fact, Geoff Young. I never saw a white man with that loud a pattern on his chest like he was wearing. Oh, unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And bloviating, might I add. Oh, yes.
With lapels so big, a gust of wind, and he'd take off like a bird.
So the mind games continue between Belichick and Brady, who had a subpar game on Sunday night. I think the team that we have to really look out for is the team we're playing every week. We can't look past anybody. But are you not impressed with the Arizona Cardinals? My Lord.
Well, I talked about them last week's show, and I said this is the team to watch out for as far as we're concerned. But I'm going to change after watching the Seahawks open the season with that dominating win over a good quarterback and a good team. I'm going 13-3 on the season. You heard it here first, my friend. This is the
Wow.
This is the year when the world collapsed as we know it. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We got so much smoke in the air. I told now I'm down to a quarter pack of cigarettes a day because and I can't even get close to the dispensary. There's so much smoke in the air. So it might be the end of the world as we know it, but man, we're going out in a blaze of glory. The Seahawks are on fire. The Nuggets are going to win themselves a final and shock the world. And,
Denver ain't no joke.
Sports to bring it all to you.
And I absolutely look so forward to the possibility that you are right, because Geoff Young, if you are right on both of these bets that you have just put out there, okay, the Nuggets win the whole thing. Is that what you're saying, by the way? Have you got the Nuggets winning literally the NBA championship, or just coming out of the West?
I got them winning it all. I think the Heat's gonna win in the East, and
Jimmy Buckets is dangerous. Jimmy Buckets very dangerous. So okay, between the Denver Nuggets winning the NBA championship and the Seahawks going 13-3.
13-3.
These, as you know, Geoff Young, you are bloviating some very bold prognostications, as you know, my friend. And if indeed these two predictions come true, then you, my friend, also know who killed the Kennedy brothers. I'm telling you, Geoff Young.
Get up for the downstroke. Still moving, he's gonna go. Are you kidding me? Holy cat!